Hello, guys, and welcome to the go Winter. Hello, guys, and welcome to the only DPC match of the day. It's Balrogs versus Thunder Awaken. A tough match for Balrogs for many reasons. Not only are they playing one of the top teams in SA, but also they'll be playing with a level 3 draft penalty. If you guys have not seen the communication by 4D, mainly because it was only in Spanish, so of course you might have not read it. They were saying that due to an issue for Balrogs, they'll be playing with a level 3 draft penalty, which means the smallest draft time that you can have. And that is because both King Deka, who is a sanctioned player, and their coach were watching the games from the live stream from the gaming house. Obviously, as you know from the Alliance debacle last year, that is not allowed. They don't know to the extent of the damage, but they assumed the minimal damage, which is they was just watching the live stream. They weren't communicating with the team, which is why they only get a draft 3 penalty and not further disqualification. Which means that Balrogs is going to be playing with a little bit of a tilt here. It's the second sanction this season. I don't know what's going to happen with them later, but we're going to see what happens. Let's talk about Thunder Awaken instead of the sanctions here for a second. Lelis, I know that you hold Thunder Awaken in high regard, but they made a recent change that I would like to ask you about, which was obviously their offlaner change, right? And so I'm going to ask the titular offlaner of this panel. What are your opinions on the differences between Oscar and Sacred, and how do you think Sacred has been fitting into the team?
Well, I think Oscar, I'm not sure if it was his preference, but I feel like he played a very limited amount of heroes. He played mostly just Tide, Timber, Mars. I don't think he played like any of these like Weaver off lane or something.
Nope.
I don't know if it's like something he chose, but it's just the way it was, kind of. Well, am I muted? No.
No, you're not. No, we can hear you.
Right.
We can hear you. It's okay.
Okay. And I think Sacred plays a bunch of heroes, honestly. I think he's improved a lot as a player. I think he's gotten a lot better. Like he's super high rank. He's always been like high rank, but now he's even higher. Probably because like joining the team, he learns a bunch of stuff and he gets even better. And I think he's been doing great with them. Like he plays this Weaver offlane thing, which suits their drafting. So I think it's been working out pretty well.
What about their playstyles individually as offlaners? Because Sacred is much more of a, I guess, the archetypical offlaner these days. He's more common, he can be a potential win condition. He's more versatile. And Oscar was very, very specifically the offlaner of like 4 or 5 years ago, right? The guy that like he builds auras, he team fights with you, he sacrifices himself. What do you think of that change in playstyle for Thunder Awaken? Does it give them more options, or was Oscar valuable in a different way?
I think it gives them more options. I don't really like the style of the aura sacrificial offlaner. I don't think it's a thing anymore, honestly. I think mostly like the offlane is just a core role now. And you just have to, you carry in your own way. You're not supposed to do the DPS, but all these aura items, they've been so nerfed that nobody really buys them anymore, They either need to change the items, or that sort of style does not really come back. Like this Crimson item is just too expensive, and so is this Pipe item. And I don't think you also want to like sacrifice, laning is just way too important nowadays. You don't want to just sacrifice an offlane lane and just lose a lane, give the enemy carry free farm. Like it's just not really worth it anymore. So I think the way Sacred plays is probably better for them. Because I think to be a team that you win, you need all 3 of your cores to eventually one of them is going to step up and carry the game. Not that Oscar didn't carry, but he carried in a different way, right? He was more like sacrificial, more like team oriented. It's just different. I think it's kind of like an old way to play.
Do you guys think? Sorry. Do you guys think there's something to do with what language they're speaking? Do they speak the different language with Oscar before? Or does he speak the same language with them?
No.
He's
Spanish.
In Bolivia, they also speak Spanish, yeah. But I do want to ask you now, Winter, as the drafter, are you a bigger fan of having... Because you've drafted for forever, and you've been through all the styles, Winter, at this point. You're ancient. So I want to ask you, do you like having an offlaner that gives you more options, or like in general, a core that gives you more options when drafting? Or do you like those teams that have like a set style, they play it really well, and you can always like fall back to it? Like a lot of Chinese teams went into that. IG, for example, used to do that like 4 or 5 years ago. They played one style, and they played that style really well.
I feel like it depends on the team. I don't really care so much what do I have. I just try to work with what I have. Like some offlaners they're just different, But I agree with Lelis right now that the offlaners the way you play the game is very, very different from before, so it's not really fair to compare them right now. I mean, obviously it's nice to have options if the guy plays a lot of heroes, it's easier to draft. But as long as it works for the team, it works for the team. It doesn't matter how.
That's fair enough, and sometimes it's even further than that. If you guys don't know, little, I guess, insider information. Partially, the reason also came because Dark Mago and Pacaz were good friends with Sacred. They had been playing in pubs together, they're playing in a stack together, and they felt like they also could get along better. So there's a communication that just worked better with them, which sometimes happens. Sometimes it's not even like Oscar is a worse player, but it's just like they think that the players mesh better together, and that was partially the decision of the team. The only person who had been with Oscar for a while and who had a closer relation with him was Panda, but Panda does not play the lane with him. They don't have much of an overlap, so Dark Mao and Pacaz had a little bit more of a say in this situation, which is why Thunder Awaken made this change overall. And for now, it's been working out for them, as Lelis has been pointing out. A lot of the Weaver offlane, a lot of these weird offlane picks they didn't used to play. What do you guys think as well of the style that Thunder Awaken's been trying now, which is like the 15 saves. Like they've been drafting Oracle, then Tuskar, and then they'll draft Weaver, and they'll build Ags on Weaver, and you have like 3 saves, and nothing ever dies. I've never seen a team doing this. They're certainly not now. What are your opinions on this style, Mr. Winter?
I mean, it's just good for fighting, I guess. I personally don't really feel like it's really that strong having so many saves. It depends on the situation. But
Sure.
I feel like the meta right now is just what you have to do is just keep fighting. Having saves it helps you fight. As long as you do well in the lane, you have abilities to fight. You can take the map really quickly, run around. I mean, I'm a big no to the Harpy creep right now. The Helm of Dom Harpy creep. I think that shit has to go. That shit is too powerful right now.
So you mean no as in like it's broken, not no as in you shouldn't do it, right?
Yeah, it's too strong right now.
You want to explain it to our audience that might have not seen that thing yet?
I mean, it gives you too much vision because of the aura, the mana regen. The creep can fly around and give flying vision all the time.
Yeah, it's like a moving ward essentially, and as he mentioned, it's also flying vision, and that's why some fours have been building it as a Helm of the Dominator, and not fours that you usually would see building Helm, like Grimstroke or Skywrath have been 2 of the heroes that have been building Helm of the Dominator. So, well, Winter thinks it's broken. What do you think of the Harpy creep, Lelis? Are you a fan of the trick?
Yeah, it's pretty broken. I think Collapse was the first guy to do it at the what's it called? What tournament was that? The Dubai tournament. It just gives way too much vision because if you look at the description, it costs mana per second, right? But the Harpy has mana regen, so it never ends. So if it, at least it ended like after a couple seconds, it'll be fine. But it's just infinite, so it's just way too broken.
Yeah, and good point as well. Collapse was the first person to do it in like the tier 1 Dota, but that trick was discovered the first day. The open qualifiers were casting for DPC. People were doing it every single match in the opens as well. So
really?
It's not even like it was like immortal pubs, at least in A, for example, what we saw, were doing it everywhere apparently, because we saw like 3-4 games in the opens where they were doing that, and we were also very surprised the first time we saw it. And we're like, what? This is ridiculous, especially because one of the games they were playing, it's a Tinker, and Tinker against that strategy is just impossible to play because the Harpies got you every single time when you're in the trees, and it became a real big nuisance for them. Split pushing makes it much more difficult. Are there any other strategies you've seen this patch, Celeste, that you want to point out? Anything you saw that was interesting, maybe from Thunder Awaken? You talked about the Weaver. Can you tell me more about that Weaver pick that you've seen? Are you a fan of it?
I'm not sure. I feel like teams haven't really exposed it yet. I think they're getting. I think they play really well around it because I think Pacaz is a type of player that he goes in for his team, right? He trusts his team's going to cast their spells, so he goes in. He's not afraid to position himself in an aggressive manner because they have a bunch of saves, right? So he's really good, and then they just play behind him. So if they had like a carry that was more like conservative, maybe it wouldn't be that good because then maybe a save would just get jumped, but he's usually the one that's jumping, right? So then it works pretty well for them. I think it's interesting. Like the hero's still pretty strong at laning. Only the Q got a little bit nerfed, right? I think the W cooldown got nerfed.
Yes, it
but
did.
If it's played as if it's played as a core, then it doesn't really matter that much. And I think some teams haven't really exposed it yet, but I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's nice that they have their own thing going for them.
What do you think of some of the weaknesses you might predict for the pick?
I mean, saves they can get countered by either having multiple jumps, right? You just jump multiple targets, or you can just pick Silencer, use global, so the guy can't do anything. And usually, when you play against saves, if you just kind of a little bit, it's hard for the enemy to do stuff. Usually, save heroes that don't really have that good of catch. They just want to stay in the back and they want to wait for something to happen. So and also the heroes that jump the saves, right? Storm, Spectre, like these heroes. Storm is more likely meta, but Spectre's just not in the meta for a while. So these backline heroes are kind of annoying in a way. But if people think about it more and they think about jumping the backline or maybe, I'm not sure. I feel like they just don't get exposed for what they do. Maybe they're just better than the other teams, and then it doesn't really show. That's probably the reason.
If I go to Winter now, you talked earlier about the brawling meta that was currently it. Do you see that exacerbated in SA, where the brawling meta seems to never leave the region?
No, I think it's just the meta. Even in C, it's the pubs has always been like this over here.
Well, that's true. C and SA though are brothers in arms. Like the similar styles have always been there.
I mean, I feel like the what Lelis mentioned was I think it's pretty true that sometimes when one team is way better than the other team, and you don't really get to see the weaknesses of the strategies that they are doing. I think it was a good point that he pointed out that when you overdraft too much saves, sometimes your whole strategy doesn't tick a lot of boxes in terms of maybe catch or something else, and then the opponent doesn't really abuse it, so it doesn't seem like it's weak. I think split pushing, like you mentioned, was one of the better things to do. But unfortunately, split pushing is pretty hard to do nowadays, so you don't see it that often. I kind of feel like I like the game when everything was quite possible, when you can do different ways of playing the game. Right now, I feel like you have to just keep fighting. It's too difficult to split push or play for like ultra late game. You have to be able to fight and farm at the same time. If you cannot fight and farm, it's just too difficult for your team to play the game.
Could you explain the split pushing thing though? Because that's the first time I hear it. Why is it difficult to split push now, Winter?
Like I feel like when you're playing with like a hero like Lelis mentioned just now, Spectre, usually before you could like play the game in a way where your team is sacrificing themselves, because the Horn is a very long cooldown, and you can the Spectre just comes like one every 2 minutes or so to fight, and you can still prolong the game enough for her to get her items. But now, because the game is so quick, when you have all these shards and all these talents and neutral items, that the moment you don't fight as a carry, you lose your tower, you lose the rush, and the game just becomes way too difficult for you. And Spectre, she kind of farms way too slowly compared to the other carries. And most of the carries that are being picked right now, you have like some cheap item that you can buy to fight early, like the Diffuse. Like a lot of heroes that are using Diffuse are really strong right now. So or you have some Echo Saber or some Shadow Blade that you can buy early to fight. Spectre doesn't really, there's nothing that really fits her that helps her fight early, apart from I think some people still do the X right now. Like I think you go Diffuse, then
Orchid.
X, or X Orchid, those kind of stuff. But your overall hero still a very, very slow hero compared to the other carries right now.
Do you share that sentiment, Lois? Of the you wish the meta was more diverse in that sense, or do you like?
Yeah,
I kind of agree.
pretty much.
I kind of agree. It's just way too like snowbally and fighty. I think Roche dies way too easy nowadays. Roche is way too weak. There's way too many ways to just kill Roche really fast. And with the outposts, after you get like a tier 2 and you get the outpost, the map just becomes really hard to play. If you're behind and you're a carry that has to farm, right? You just can't farm anywhere, because teams now just got so much better at just closing out the map, right? They'll just take the outpost, they'll just cross the map, and then you don't have a map anymore. It's that simple. Then they just TP on the outpost and they can just kill you.
So it's also partially the skill then of teams developing.
For sure, I think teams just have gotten a lot better. That's like 100%.
Okay. Well, did straight up diss to the other panelists who played a while ago, but we love him anyway. As we get into the draft, Mars and Kunkka have been picked up for Thunder Awaken, as Keeper of Light and Sand King get picked up for Balrogs. We've seen a little bit of this Coddle now being flexed into the mid position. Is it going to be the case here for Balrogs, or going to go for the classic lane here of Sand King Coddle, you think, Mr. Winter?
Oh, Coddle is very strong right now. That hero is a bit too much.
You find it disgusting too?
Yeah, I mean, of course, dude. You see the hero? I mean,
But do you like it as a support still? You think it's a flex right now?
Yeah, he's still good as a support. The shot is really valuable on especially a position 5. Position 5 quarter even. I mean, the hero is still good with money, you know, if you get farm priority, still very strong, obviously. But yeah, he fits in so many roles right now, and he fits the meta, brawling meta. And especially when you have all those combos, you know, like with we used to draft a lot with Ember or whatever short cooldown spells, stuns. Yeah, but we was getting ignored this time.
With the Sand King picked up as well, that was many people have commented on this panel that he is probably the strongest offlaner, not OP, but very strong right now. Do you concur with that opinion?
Yeah, this hero's just been he's been pretty trash for a long time, right? And then what usually happens is he just gets continuously buffed, and at some point he's just broken, right? Because people realize the hero's is good. Like some point there's a patch and the meta heroes get nerfed, and he gets a slight buff again, then he's just broken. But I wouldn't say he's broken because his laning's pretty weak. That's the bad part about this hero. But I think his tool, I don't know, his spells are just really good. His shard is really good. All his talents are very good. And I think the way he's been building right now is really good. I think Bracer is really valuable for him. He rushes this blink. This E-Blade item is just amazing for him now too. So this is like some mega fast draft.
The Sandstorm is too OP right now. Like the talents, like I think it's too good for him.
Right.
The AoE talent's really good.
Yeah, that shit is so annoying to play in the game, especially as a support in the fights.
This is a very fast draft, as you said, but from Thunder Awaken, who has all the reserve time. Have you guys ever done this? You played with a team that has like less time, and you try to draft faster so they can't think?
Yeah, I definitely tried to do that before, and it didn't work out because I was rushing myself too much.
Oh, so then you had less time overall, even though you didn't have a penalty.
No, I mean I had more time, and then I was playing against a team that had less time, and I was trying to draft fast to pressure them.
And you outplayed yourself by doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, something that's good that you can do is when you're drafting and you see the other team has low draft time, you can just like now, right? You can just ban a random hero and just put the timer on them, right? And make them really pressured. So they don't have, because when you're banning, they have time to think, right? Right now, both teams are thinking, but it's counting Thunder Predator's time. So you can just ban something random. Of course, it doesn't have to be completely random, right? You just, I don't know, just ban random mid heroes. Just ban Batrider. Just go ban it, and then just put them on the clock, because then they feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's the Ember that Winter mentions. Like, oh, good short cooldowns with Kato. Like, it's not a random ban, like you say. It's just a good ban, but maybe not the best ban. But it doesn't matter because they're faster. Lelis, you were speaking, by the way, about Thunder Awaken's unique strategy with Sacred, the Weaver and everything. It's the most stereotypical draft we've seen from them literally all season, I think. Mars, Kunkka, Ogre, Murata. Very, very normal draft for the meta.
Yeah, I mean, they went with the Mars this game, so they flexed it to mid, but they just picked the Kunkka too. I guess they just want Kunkka this bad, so then they just kind of locked them into. It's kind of weird, right? They just first two-phase, two cores and they don't care, and they just win with it, right? So it's pretty impressive that they can just win with this. It means a lot. It means that they're just better than the other teams. That's what it means to me.
We'll see if they are better than Balrogs. I'm kind of excited. What do you think, Winter, this team is missing on Thunder Awaken for their carry? What does the carry need to fulfill?
Anti-mage. I wish they had advantage, but it's banned. Yeah, because AM is good against Dusa. It's good against Sand King in the lane. As Lelis was also saying that Sand King is a weak laner. Usually what happens is if you pick Sand King early, you kind of will get countered a little in the lane. And if that doesn't really happen to you, Sand King just becomes too strong later on.
Yeah.
So what do they pick then? What are you thinking then, Winter? If anti-mage is banned, give me some other options and not techies.
I mean, you could do Kunkka carry. Monkey King against the Sand King.
Monkey King is a pretty good. It's a pretty good matchup against Medusa. This matchup, a lot of people don't understand it, but the ult is just very good against Medusa. Especially now that you can buy Diffusal, it just does way too much damage. And since Medusa is like a stationary hero, she doesn't really want to run around too much. Like 1 second in the ring, 2 seconds, or her whole mana just gets burned and she just dies really, really fast.
Okay, interesting. I hadn't heard that before. Thank you for that point. How do they do this now? Like, if Medusa's your win condition, how do they flex this? How do you play against the Monkey King better?
I think Batrider was really good. I don't know if it was banned, but I guess I just went with Puck. Puck is kind of rough against Kunkka mid in the lane.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't. They're getting Yules for sure. They have a lot of stuns on their Predator. I don't really like this Puck pick. I also think Puck is kind of weak against Monkey King because he has an instant stun.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough. Yeah, I don't really like this Puck pick.
It's more like they needed like some initiator, so they just, you in the draft, if you just want to pick something that can initiate and it does stuff for your team as a mid laner, you go for Puck. But he's gonna have a rough game here against Kunkka and Monkey King.
Yeah.
So, what are your final predictions then? I'll start with you, Mr. Winter.
I mean, I think overall, disregarding like the strengths of the team, just based on draft, I think it's obviously easier to play as Thunder Predator with the overall setup.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, that's it. Lelis, what is your opinion there?
I would say like I think the floor of the lineups. I think it's easier to play Medusa lineup because you can just automatically farm. But I think Thunder Predator is just a better team. So I think they're just gonna crush it. I think at 20 minutes they're just gonna be ahead, and Deuce is gonna have like one death. The game's gonna be over.
Okay, that's the boldest prediction we've had yet on the panel. He's competing with Bowie, and good thing we mentioned him because Bowie is the caster for this series, so we get to see some percentages now. As we move over to our casting pair for Balrogs vs Thunder Awaken, it's going to be Epulze and Dota 2 Bowie.
Hello.
Bowie. Oh my God, from going from Winter to you, it's like
yeah, dude,
my
I'm
panel
small.
just shrank.
I'm so happy. I'm finally not as big as Winter, but. Yeah, dude. This match is very. I mean, it's rough because it's hard not to give Thunder Predator the edge. You guys were talking about the fact that they are drafting, very out of the box drafts and still like crushing with it. This time, they're going really heavy on this strength core. I think they have 2 strength cores, and the Monkey King is also like kind of tanky. I would love to see a Vessel Puck. I think that is one trend that I started seeing a lot in Highmar pubs. Even like Embers going for Vessel Puck. I think the item didn't change at all this meta, but what changed is the types of heroes we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of Death Prophet, lots of IO, lots of healing and bulky boys. I would love to see RoboZ going for the Vessel. I think that's how he can get enough damage to win this game. Because I look at their draft and I feel like mid-game, they like a lot of it.
Okay, what is your opinion on the Puck in general, by the way? Because you talk about the Vessel build. Do you think the hero is deviating into Vessel because he's been just lackluster? That's been my opinion in general on the hero.
Hero is better than people give credit for, but it's also not, the best hero. Especially when you have a Kato on your team, you usually think of Storm. We actually saw that in the EG versus. No, it was actually 4 Zoomers versus Wildcard Gaming. I think they used that strat pretty well. I don't think it's as impactful as Puck, but still pretty good. You can cut waves. You have the shard on the Kato. The lane with the Sand King is pretty nice. You're gonna have that extra man on him. Could get like a lot of very little downtime on your Burrow Strike.
This was over.
But it's Thunder Predator.
Yeah, that's kind of the bottom line. You know what I thought was the biggest flex, Bowie, of this draft is that Thunder Predator did not use a single second of the reserve time. Just to say, like, even if we didn't have the draft penalty, we would still beat you in draft. That's a really big flex by them. Lexi Yogi's gonna be the first death, it seems, by Thunder Awaken as they take down and they give the first blood to Pandemo. Which, by the way, guys, I will keep calling them Thunder Awaken. They, for now, have not yet changed their tag, but they're no longer sponsored by Predator, the gaming PC brand, which is why their official name is still Thunder Awaken. The game just becomes difficult when they refuse to change tag.
I think they changed their Dota buff handle, but the Dota buff team name, but not the actual handle. So it's a little,
The official DPC handle is a long process from what I've heard from the guys, and they're just struggling to be able to change it. So yeah, eventually we'll get it.
So that's how you do it, right? You sponsor a team in the tier 1, and then you just get to keep your brand there for the whole tour.
You're onto something, Bowie, guys. The people that are not sponsoring Dota, you're missing out. Predator is literally getting a free sponsor for 2 seasons now. People think that because Dota is an unorganized scene, it's bad for sponsors, but it's actually good because you get free ads here. Genius.
Oh man. But yeah, I think people hate a little bit too much on Puck. I feel like the hero sure got hit. The hero's just different. Like that's what people. I feel like people are still trying to play the same old Puck that would one-shot creep waves and you would get Kaya Sanj. But I think it's much more about like staying the fights a little bit more. So a little bit more survivability with either a vessel or. Like, the fact that you get less mana cost on your spells just allow Puck to spam his spells a little bit more and just play less bursty and more, like, continuous sort of damage. I guess most intelligence heroes are suffering with that. That's why Quap also not looking as hot as she used to be. And I mean in pick rate, not in actual, being pretty.
Appearance, yeah, of course. She still is as hot as ever, right, to you?
Yeah. Some people would say
in
that.
sense. Okay, Sexy Yogi will be the second to fall as well because he feeds the first blood in now as well. The lane. How is this lane for the Medusa? Usually Medusa versus Mars is considered okay in the lane, but with the Mirana, does this change? Do they have kill potential onto the Medusa?
Usually they shouldn't, and that's why Sexy Yogi probably died. He's supposed to be this wall that allows the Medusa to farm. The problem is that usually Bane can sustain like a stun into another stun. The problem is Mirana is the difference in this equation where arrow just lasts way too long. So if he tanks the spear, he probably just dies, and that's the problematic part because usually Bane actually lanes really well with Dusa. So you have to make sure like you always have to show up in the lane with like up to 70-80% HP, or then you might die. That's probably why Sexy Yogi did die.
Right, fair enough. But I guess it's kind of better for him to die than the Dusa, right? So at least they're covering Berna's farm to a degree, even though it's not really happening, as the lane has been pushed, and Berna's only 12 last hits, and Sacred's having the lane of his life. So, difficult to fix. In fact, what is the lane, Bowie, for Balrogs that they want to play around? Like, what is the lane that they win so they can make plays early?
I mean, both side lanes, honestly. Like, bottom looks awful.
That's why I asked.
Top, I think, could have been better if they, if Sexy Yogi doesn't fit first blood, all that. But the mid lane, I don't think Puck's gonna win that lane, but he can actually be useful much earlier than Kunkka. That's how you savage it. You get that early level 6 on Robo Z, and maybe Varun or kind of a dive for Thunder Awaken. You can like get a couple of kills and put all of those side lane heroes back into the game.
Okay. So there's a lot of writing on the Puck then, you say.
Yeah.
How do you amplify the success in the Puck? What can Robotheta do this game to make sure that he has a good early game start, his ganks are successful?
I think the first part is how the Kato is going to play around him. I think, reducing, like, he has all of his cooldowns are really low. So being able to drop, 4 Illusory Orbs and Wedding Rifts in quick succession is really how you're going to be able to kill all of those tanky boys before there's any items on this Puck.
Okay.
So he has to be very careful with how he uses his Chakra Magic once the mid-game starts or, the laning stage breaks.
We'll see as, once again, Sexy Yogi dies. Not really that big a deal. I'm not going to interrupt Bowie for that because, again, he's just tanking the Dusa gank, and it's either him or Berna. I think they decided that. In the bottom lane, though, there's really a dive here for ZXCA, and he is going to fall. Bakaz, though, gets hit by the Nightmare, covered here by Panda. And Panda, he has 800 HP and 8 armor. He's fine. He's not going to die here under any circumstances. As you said, bottom lane, disastrous. The Monkey King is absolutely destroying it. Even though the lasses don't really reflect that kill is a very big part of it.
EP is very sus from Sexy Yogi. I think this just kills Berna lane so hard. Like, he's already struggling. I think he thought that he would be able to assist and also stack, but really nicely done by the Yogi. He actually blocks the camp. And now Sexy Yogi is just wandering about, and Medusa, like, she's pulling for herself. But it's so sad, like, almost no network being acquired by Berna right now.
That said, though, did you see how he pulled? That was quite cool. He activated multi-shot for a second to aggro the creeps, right? As he was attacking the Mirana who was blocking her. And that allowed him to pull somewhat. Cool. If you guys play pubs and your support leaves the lane, now you know what to do as Dusa. That's one of the techniques you can use, I suppose.
Yeah,
but of course,
baby steps.
Yeah, exactly, because she's still struggling. Sexy Yogi chasing after Matthew, or I'm not really sure what's happening here. Sexy Yogi's just kind of like tailing Matthew in the bottom lane. King Tekka dies again to Pakaz and Pandamu. They want to go for the Coddle as well. He is fast. Do they have any sort of venom? They do on Pakaz. Panda, ignite in 2 seconds, because no Primal Spring just yet, so jumping on the tree actually delayed this. Shouldn't have jumped on the tree, now he can. There we go, gets closer to the Coddle. He's gonna hit him 3 times, activates the Jingu Mastery, and that's gonna be enough to finish off the support.
It's my time.
Yeah, this is problematic. There's still a Catapult wave top with a decent amount of creeps here from Sacred. He also has Arena, so it's... I guess they will be able to take this Catapult. But overall, like, it feels like they're Awakening are winning all lanes. RoboZ also popped this double damage to heal himself, which is not ideal, right? Ideally, he wants to make sure those runes maximize the chance that his rotations are available. Right now, it just feels like everyone's lost on Balrogs. No one knows what to do.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about like who makes plays, and you talked about the puck, right? But Robotita doesn't really seem to have an option if the side lanes are lost this much. So now I ask you, and I reform the question, Bowie. What is the first point of inflection here for Balrogs? Like, what is the first thing they can fight around? Any big items? Any heroes? Any timings?
I really feel like Quinteka has to start cutting waves to make sure that Kotto is not like forced to babysit Descent King, because I don't even feel like Kotto can really do that much in this lane anymore. And you just maximize for stacks, and you try to rotate with Puck plus another support. So right now, ZXCA, his bottom, I don't think he's needed here. I would like to see, I guess he's farming. All right. They want to get this level 6 on Quinteka. Maybe that's the damage they need for a Puck rotation.
Is it possible that they can rotate with Quinteka and Puck, and that's enough of a kill squad? What is the easiest kill for this game? Because like Kunkka, Mars...
Akas for sure, like,
okay.
And that's why they probably want to rotate to Quinteka, because he doesn't have Blink. It's gonna, like, he's not going any intermediary items, and it's still gonna take a while for that Blink to come. So ideally is the lane pushing and them just collapsing on Akas. Oh,
Berna just gets run down by Dark Mao. They use the X marks plus the arrow combo to set up on the skill, and then proceed to finish him off with auto attacks. As Balrogs is running out of space to farm, and Lela's prophecy is becoming truer and truer by the second.
Oof. Okay, top lane. That's dead Yogi.
Yep, once again. This time I don't know why he's protecting. Like, is Bane even a useful 5 to keep in your dead lane to protect it from falling? Or because he has no push at all?
If he's like hiding in the trees and sapping experience from the creeps to die in the tower, probably.
Okay.
I'm not sure how they got vision. Like, the arena broke the trees. Maybe Mars knew that he was there, but it was just he was kind of on fog. But Sacred probably felt like he knew where he was, and he got it right. It's rough, man. Like, you just want to hold towers, right? Because you have a Dusa. Every single second a tower is up, it's more time she can farm. So I don't even blame him. The problem is that they need to start playing with RoboZ. They need to create space somewhere. They need to force TPs. Even if they don't get, like, you know, the greatest fight of all, you just want to make sure Berna is not being chased by Kunkka as it just happened.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. They can just run you down below your tier 2 and kill you. Like, that, at that moment, what space do you even have? They haven't even taken your towers yet. Like, not a single tier 1 has fallen. It already seems like the whole map is Thunder Awakens. If you're Thunder, what is your goal now? Are you just calm enough to farm? Is there anything that you need to specifically do with this lead?
I think their next timing is probably just waiting for the catapult, so they're either gonna collapse on mid or top to secure a tower. Usually, I would say their draft is on a timer, but their laning stage was so gigantically better than Balrogs that I think they're in no rush so far. And they
as we hit the 10-minute mark, they're gonna push mid, it seems like. And they're like, guys, I think this tower has been left solo. I think we could just take it. And indeed it has. Balrogs has no intention of fighting this. Now a TP coming in from the Coddle. Illuminate to tank, or to deal with the creeps a little bit. Mao could always activate Arcane Rune and continue to tank this, though. It's gonna be fine. And with a catapult, this tower should fall.
Oh, and also, one thing that I'm not a big fan... Okay, maybe there's a fight. I'll wait for this Quinteka TP. Nope, there's no fight. They can't do anything. Kotto is the one that bought the tome. I hope he's not the one that eats it, because I feel like he gets very little from his ult compared to Sexy Yogi. I really feel like Grip could allow them to smoke and kill anyone. So, where's the curry? What's Kotto's curry right now? It's flying.
Oh,
all right,
he has a tome.
Have to keep tabs on that tome, because if he's the one that eats it, dude... This game becomes so hard.
All right, well, it's time for Courier Cam. Follow Coddle's Courier for a second, see where that tome goes. Coddle, good, got it? Coddle ate it!
Okay, Yogi 6 though. All right, I don't know. I guess they knew he was closer.
So-
I didn't actually check.
It's all good. It's math magic here. Yeah, good job.
All right, I guess they're gonna find an ogre maybe. Can they even kill the ogre though?
I actually don't think so. I think Ogre's a harder objective to kill than Pakaz right now. Actually,
Okay.
oh, okay, they found the Kunkka with Fiend's Grip. There's what Bowie was suggesting. It could be possible. Panda's late. Or rather, Panda was nowhere near, so they do get the kill on Dark Mago. However, really nice Primal Spring slows down everybody. The arrow will catch out the Bane, but they're looking for something bigger. A 3-man arena would be the bigger thing they were looking for, as they bring down 2 supports. King Deka in the arena, still stuck. Gets dusted and killed. Balrogs lose 3 in exchange for the enemy mid laner. Not the worst trade, could have been much worse for them, but certainly not enough to get back into the game.
Yeah, they were really close from actually disengaging. That was a 4-man Primal Spring. I don't think I've ever seen like such a perfectly placed one. Really nice done by Pakaz rotating there. He does have the Echo Saber, but it does buy time for Burna, which is what they need. Like their draft does have decent wave clear, right? We talked about the shard of Kotto with Puck just cutting waves. There's also Kotto himself and the Sandstorm. So ideally, like you can delay this game, but when the game is 11-1, a lot of times the lane doesn't really lead to that much. You need like some semblance of farm to be able to like actually use the delaying for your own good. Right now, they need more team fights, more smokes.
Right. Right now, they need to be able to delay towards something, right? Have an objective at the end. Because as Let's also mentioned, the Monkey King matchup is not that bad for Dusa either. Sorry, for Monkey King. So it's fine. Like they're calm, as you said. They just won this early game by chance. It wasn't like they need to win this early game.
Yeah.
Look at them, all huddling in a triangle, Bowie. All sharing the one space of safe farm they have, protecting it as much as possible.
Oh man, look at the amount of centers there. That's perfect. That's all the 3 centers that you need to deward pretty much everything from the triangle. So nicely done there by Yogi. Now,
Okay, smoke. This could be what you were talking about. This is one tool to initiate, but Pakaz, okay, he is the target. They can cut down his tree. Oh, the arena. Even though they cut down Pakaz's tree, he's still not dying as a magic wand, but Pakaz will finally fall. And the arena, maybe not that successful. Sacred could be in trouble. The Mirana comes back from behind, and she does hit the arrow, but Sacred's already dead. They need some help from the rest of the team. Kunkka joins in. Dark Mago at least wanted to get a counter kill on the Coddle. Activates BKB to get rid of that slow, and that will guarantee him murdering Coddle. Sexy Yogi also gets caught by a torrent, and once again it's going to be the 2 supports and the offlaner dead. But in exchange, this time they get an offlaner and a carry, so slowly but steadily increasing what they gain. Not bad, actually, this time. Pretty good trade.
yeah, this was awesome. Like that, they fought into a 13-minute BKB from Dark Mago, and somehow they were able to get 2 core kills. It was a great King's Grip. The Kunkka was running from the river, and after the arena, there was no one to actually cancel the King's Grip, so it was full duration from Sexy Yogi. Really nicely done, and they even got a deny bottom.
Okay, I was surprised that I was not expecting that, but yeah, it happened. Dark Mago, okay, I think he get the X, he double-clicked the X by accident. As Panda move will be dewarding the enemy triangle a little bit. Will he pay for this, however? That's the real question. We have Coil in 4, Panda taking a fair amount, but the Burst Strike hits him. Illusory Orb will clean him up. Another free kill going the way of Balrogs. He did get, though, a couple of sentries taken out.
I'm very impressed with Balrogs, not gonna lie. I think, a lot of teams would get crushed by that early game. And I don't think Thunder Awaken did many mistakes in all the plays that we've seen. So it's just been really good positioning. They made sure that there's no vision in the triangle, so Burna was able to farm throughout most of what's happening. Oh, but that is a good ward though. See? No, sorry. I thought if that was a Radiant ward in the Dire Triangle, that would be a perfect one.
Yes, but it is dire, so they have some protection in the triangle as there's a fight going on near the bottom lane. Once again, there's only the 2 supports dying, though. Balrogs is managing to keep the Dusa out of harm's way. And now Panda continues on his mission to deward this triangle.
What is Panda doing here? Does he want to block this camp? I guess he'll just body block.
I don't know if he's checking. What is he? Yeah, he's just body blocking. He has sentries in his inventory, though. He hasn't dewarded this really deep. As the ward you were mentioning was really interesting, right? Very difficult to deward this ward. Barely in the high ground. Like, just barely out of sentry range. It's kind of crazy.
It's really hard to place that one.
Pakaz. Okay, he does found Berna. And Pakaz hasn't found himself with the Fiend script, but they are going to cancel. They do with the arrow. Pakaz still fighting his own circle. That means he has the extra armor. He's not going to be brought down easily here. However, the Wukong's command has ended. No more armor for Pakaz, but he can't really continue this. The Nightmare's stopping him. Panda Mu trying to tank the Nightmare, but he still gets hit by the Berserk, and Panda cannot save him. The rest of Thunder Awaken is not here, so it's only to support some Pakaz. Pakaz already dead. Panda will join him in the grave. And Thunder Awaken, they're losing the plot a little bit with these kills. Like, they're stronger for sure, but they're not stronger that they can afford to make these mistakes.
Seems like it was Balrogs that awakened, huh?
Yeah. You can feel their thunder, huh? As Huddle, he gets caught out, and this time it is going to be a kill. But supports don't matter as much as your Pakaz dying. Berna is still their main objective. Robofeta nearby. As I'm Dream Call, however, he only has the waiting Rift to lose your orb. It's going to be enough damage to bring down the Mars. Sexy Yogi dies to Dark Mago. Dark Mago is going to walk the opposite way. He's too tanky to be killed by the tower. But these engagements, they're not ideal because they keep losing cores. Like, the supports are not dying for Thunder, but that doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by Balrogs. I also feel like that the solo kill attempt by the Monkey King was a little bit sus. I mean, sure, you have Diffusal, but the Dusa is pretty farm. It's actually ahead of net worth in comparison to the Monkey King, so survives just enough. And you're also like very close to tier 2, so you have to expect rotations. A little bit too greedy from Pakaz, and Balrogs, they keep capitalizing.
I'm gonna try to keep. I'm gonna try to pick up Rabofeta, but that was a really nice phase shift there, avoiding the arrow. Mago, second attempt, he avoids all of the ignites. And now in the triangle, Balrogs, are they stronger in this triangle? Nope. Mars breaks with that high ground vision with a beautiful arena. Unfortunately, he only catches the call. So while the vision breaking was nice, the arena was not as successful as they were hoping for.
I think what really helps Balrogs this game is that sure, their supports are dying, but all of the cores that are showing up to fight, so everyone but the Dusa, have a way out of the arena, which is pretty much the only way that they can get kills inside of Thunder Awaken right now. So this allows the supports to actually position aggressively. Sure, Kotl died, 7 times? But as long as the cores keep on farming and they keep getting core kills in these engagements, it's really good. It's all you could ever wish, honestly, considering the early game.
Yeah. Do you think there's a moment where Medusa actually comes back into this game?
Yeah,
because Monkey went into a build that's very anti-Medusa here.
Yeah, but it falls off. It falls off really hard because the Dusa, like, sure, you can definitely kill the Dusa really easily now. But as the game goes on, like, you get really reliant on your Wukong's command. You know, it's an 80-second cooldown. There's gonna be Force Staffs and Hurricane Pikes. Once the Wukong's command gets used on side of Thunder Awaken in 20 minutes, they are definitely weaker.
And once again, they find the Monkey King. He's been stunned thanks to a Dream Cold, but Blinding Light, but Pakaz is surviving for now. Pakaz is capable of getting the kill on the Kotl. Now jumping onto a tree, he's safe once again. King Tekka has been stunned by the Boundless Strike. And this time Pakaz will barely live as the Torrent misses Sexy Yogi, but they do get vision of him. Sacred is continuing the charge. He has the spear. No arena, or sorry, doesn't want to use the arena to clear the trees. Instead, they'll settle for the tower.
That was really close. The spear actually stopped the sinking of doing damage with Epicenter. It was really nicely played by Sacred there. He saved Pakaz.
The arrow gives vision but misses everybody. And Panda's been left behind, but Panda is your 5. He's not worth everyone's lives. Unfortunately, Sacred does not think that. He's new to the team. He wants to impress his new teammates, and he goes in with the arena. Panda's already dead, but at least he's got the 2 supports, which means at least one is dead. Dark Mago continuing over for the Kotl, activates the BKB, realizes this is far too in, and he's going to go and TP away with a couple of BKB seconds to spare just in case.
That's so crazy. Like, usually would expect the team like Radiant to make this move once the catapult is there, so that at least like you're actually doing meaningful tier 2 damage. But they're just diving, you know, just casually diving tier 2s with no chance of doing tier 2 damage. So I don't know. I think Thunder Awaken, they're giving a lot of space for Balrogs. you know, the first engagements were fine. You were really far ahead, so you misread how strong you actually are. Right now, I think they're not playing as crisp as they could, and I would be scared, dude. Berna, like, he will scale. This guy is already looking, he's already second in net worth, and Thunder doesn't push nearly as fast. Like, overall, their siege damage is pretty mediocre.
BKB picked up now by Bakaz. Do you think this makes a difference in the next team fight? Can Bakaz survive? Because until now, he's kind of been the key hero they're going on. He gets bursted rather quickly.
Yeah, it's really about whether who gets the jump, right? If you get the jump with Sand King, unlikely that Bakaz can BKB. If Thunder Awaken is the one making the moves, if they have Aegis, then things are definitely on their advantage. And they're just gonna force this Roche. No, there is one ward actually from Balrogs, but they're in no position. I think they'll just keep this up.
Yeah. Who do you think the Aegis goes to this time? Bakaz? And he's the high ground pusher right now?
Mm-hmm. Definitely him.
Good. He actually disassembled the Echo Sayer, by the way, to build up this BKB. I didn't notice that, so we might need to build that up again. We'll see. Maybe he builds
Actually,
that
going back for corrosion. It's been a while since I've seen anyone do something like this.
Oh, I've never seen that, actually. Oh, that's a really good arena this time, Sacred. Sets up for the arrow. Berna gets the last second Manta style, which allows him to use the Stone Gaze now. Is this counter initiation going to be successful? With a burster from King Deka, it might just be Panda. He's going to dive first. It seems like Medusa tanking a fair amount, but now she's in the circle. She can't run away. And Medusa's being pummeled to death by a million monkeys. However, she's capable of just barely slithering herself to safety. Some save from the Coddle, a bit of help from the Urn. Berna's still not dead. She's being covered. The stuns are too good. Bakaz has to hit King Deka instead out of spite, and King Deka will fall, but the Snake Lady will live. Unless Bakaz has something to say about this? No, he's just gonna go for the Coddle instead. He knows Medusa is too unreachable a target. Oh, Theta, don't die here. Okay. that was just him memeing after a great play, but it's all good. It's all good.
Wow. All things considered, that's still like incredible for Balrogs. Sure, they lost 3 heroes, but I don't think they're going to be able to find Medusa by herself so many times. So the fact that Thunder Awaken doesn't capitalize on it is great. That's also Aegis time wasted. And it gives confidence for Balrogs to keep taking these fights. Now...
Wonder...
oh, sorry, go on.
No, so go ahead. You were going to say?
Yeah, I just mean that, like, it feels like Thunder Awaken, they're being very... and I mean, it makes sense. They really want to get kills before they go for towers because it's very annoying to push into Balrogs. You have, the Sand King Coddle Puck, lots of wave clear. But because they're not really getting those kills, partly because they wasted some of that early advantage, it just keeps buying time. It feels like that Aegis, it's not going to feel as impactful as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, when they gave it to the Monkey King, I presume that's going to be like a high ground Aegis to a degree. They were trying to force that, right? Because otherwise you might just give it to the Kunkka and he can push towers a bit better. Okay, that arena missed everyone. Zone out arena, Sacred. All good. Sometimes you do those, it blocked the tower. Yeah. Now the enemy team is scared.
He made sure the creeps were very far away from him. They're scared, dude.
That's true. That's true. The creeps. That's why they're called creeps, right? Because they're scary. I don't think he's actually going for the Orb of Corrosion. I think it is a meme. There's no way he's actually going to finish it now. The Orb of Venom is not even in his inventory. Why would he go finish the Orb of Corrosion?
Yeah. All right. Do you wanna make a bet?
Sure.
I'll go for the Corrosion. Okay, he just swapped. No, okay. I'll never go for the Corrosion. So
no. I want to make that bet, Bowie. You'll go for the what?
I'll go for a smoke gank on Balrogs, and they might just find Dark Mago.
What a prediction. Amazing. It's almost like he saw it on the map. And they do find Dark Mago. But Bakaz has something to say about this. BKB's been activated. Sexy Yogi is in trouble. And he's going to die immediately. Once again, the supports are going to target first, and they both are killed off. Balrog still has 3 strong cores, none of which want to fight. As Medusa presses the escape button and runs back to her base. You have left little Sankin behind. King Deka, what are they going to do with him? Actually, they're going to ignore him, because Berna is the target, and they managed to catch up to this Dusa. The TPs are coming in here, and Coddle even bought back to save the Dusa. Can they do it in time once again stuck in the circle? That Chakra Magic not going to save her this time, as Berna is properly pummeled to death, and Bakaz gets his revenge from the team fight down bottom.
Right. I'll just say one thing, okay? My Vessel Puck wishes did not happen. But imagine this. Imagine you have Vessel on your Puck and a Force Staff on your Caudal. And the Caudal Force Staffs the core away from the Wukong's command. That would be pretty cool. Just a thought.
Okay. And so... Sorry, can you repeat that, Bowie?
I just mean that I feel like Caudal is not really a Vessel hero. I understand that they need a Vessel. They clearly do, but I feel like it would be a better fit for the Puck.
Oh, you could talk about the Puck. It's true, And you want the Force Staff on the call. That's what I heard. Okay. What do you think of Halberd though, as opposed to the Force Staff now?
I mean, it's also a really good item in this game, but I really wish they had a Force Staff because the Bane went for Aetherlands. Kind of a normal item on Bane, but Force is so good this game. Kind of weird that they don't have it.
Is it very greedy on Bane to go for the Aetherlands this game, or do you think it's necessary because the Fiend Script is pivotal to their team fight?
It is very necessary, so I feel like Caudal is the one that should have it. Maybe he actually changes his mind on this Halberd here. It's very expensive, Well, once you have the Sanji, it really benefits zero for your hero. Bane though.
Sexy. Darkmago once again just acted BKB to kill a support. And oh no, Fiend Script. It's fine. We have the spear the whole time. Heaven's Halberd has it built against the Dusa stop. King Tekka does go in with an epicenter. Darkmago's tanky enough, and Sacred has a BKB from behind. Pakas activates Wukong's command here. And that's going to be enough to kill off King Tekka, but Berna is not inside of it. Pakaz wanting to preserve that armor, staying in the circle. Panda's already dead, almost as collateral. Pakaz is forced to retreat with a TP and a BKB. As Matthew has been found out, and Robofeta wants to finish him off. They see Sacred as well. They've been dusted. Darkmago, though, nearby. Do you really want to go for Sacred? And he's a bit too tanky. Berna is joining in, but he's slow. Blinding Light, though, will allow him to catch up. Sorry, Solar Bind will allow him to catch up to Sacred, and that's going to guarantee the kill on the enemy offlaner. Matthew also stayed a bit too long. He's going to try to do the leap TP, but has no TP. So unfortunately, he's just going to die.
Yeah, it was an okay TP from the Monkey King, but I was very... I don't know why Thunder Awaken kind of kept delaying that fight, because your Monkey King stopped. He cannot attend the fight at all. And it really allowed Balrogs to get a couple of kills there. And 6k gold lead. I don't think it is that much of an issue. As long as this game goes late enough, I do feel like the Deuce eventually outcarries the Monkey King.
The wages of fear.
And
eventually.
Okay, what item is that the timing for? What do you think? Like, would you say eventually, but could you give me a concrete item that you think is the Dusa out carrying the monkey? Or does it depend on farm differential?
It also depends on farm differential, but I think the BKB is already like a huge step up because you don't care about standing in the Wukong's command anymore. But Butterfly is probably the biggest one, where like the right clicks is gonna take really long for the Monkey King to even get the jingles up, and she's just gonna be really hard to take down. They don't have their damage doesn't scale as much besides the Monkey King, and it's all physical.
What do you think about the can the rest of the team help out in that sense? Like, can Mars, for example, deviate into a bit more damage, or have the Kunkka do that, and that helps out against the Dusa?
They're trying to go for this, not really damage, but just delaying or making sure the Dusa can hit, right? They're going for double Halberd. They already have one on Kunkka, going for the Mars. I think that's fine too. But it also depends how the team fights go. If Boros gets the jump, then the Halberds don't really mean that much. It really depends. They're banking on the fact that they're going to play from a head, which so far they've been doing.
What do you think of the Scythe now being built on Darkmago? Full utility for this hero.
Great on against the Puck. He went really greedy. He's also going Ags.
Nope. King Tekka, never mind. They cancel it with a boneless strike, even if they missed the spear. It did put Sacred to sleep, but the Sexy Yogi is going to receive a Rude Awakening. Actually, TPs. He's fine. King Tekka is a sacrificial lamb in this engagement, and Balrogs will only lose one. It's a core, though. Maybe two? No, Pakas is a bit too late on the jump.
Yeah, but I like the side of Ice, especially because right now he's showing his ultimate arm, so they might eventually figure out that he's going for this, but it's going to be really hard on this Puck. He doesn't have any survivability.
Robofeta does manage to lure himself to safety for now. Pakaz gets blinding lighted off a tree. If that happens, though, guys, that does not stun you. You have to break the tree for that. So he gets back on the tree. Now he's in the high gun, gets dewarded. It's like, yep, they probably have wards here. Berna, speared back, Sacred, no arena though. So how do you cover this as retreat? Fiend's Grip has been used. Sacred can tank it for now. They cancel with the Battle Strike. They go for Sexy Yogi and they burst him down. BKB on Berna plus the Stone Gaze means that they can't chase after her. Berna will survive for now. Mago, however, does not know the meaning of the word stop, which is why he goes forward no matter what. Panda's not playing a safe this time, so Matthew has to sacrifice himself instead of Panda. They miss the spear completely, but Wukong's command at least hits her Dusa right in the middle of it. She can't get away from the circle. No BKB means a dead Dusa for me. Balrogs, unfortunately, won't be able to initiate this properly, but Kingteka was considering with an epicenter. In fact, they do at least snipe a support. Puck's still alive with a double damage rune. He trusts his damage. He thinks he can still take down Pakaz, even without their carry. Is this true? Is Pakaz going to die? Oh. They send him back thanks to the Ag. Pakaz could be in trouble. There's the Yule Scepter used by Pakaz, or used on Pakaz, which sets up for the kill. And Roboteta with the double damage is enough to finish him and Sacred off with the help of Kingteka, who also canceled the last TP. Dark Mago, the only surviving member of Thunder Awaken, is going to be sent back into the grave. Balrogs wipes Thunder Awaken off the face of the Dota Earth.
Yeah, dude, that is a soft strength of Dusa, right? You're like, oh, Balrogs play so well, but the reason they can win that fight is that Thunder Awaken had to use everything, all of their BKBs, all of their ults to kill Dusa. And eventually Balrogs slowly peel them away and get this amazing fight. I don't know, man. I'm very impressed by Balrogs, I'm not gonna lie. Especially considering how the early game went. It was very easy to just tilt out of that or just convince yourself you would do a better game too. They kept playing, and this is an even game now. There's no doubt about it.
I'm in a similar position to you. I'm actually very surprised at how Balrog's taking his team fights. I don't know if Thunder Awaken is like if they're overextending and they're giving opportunities to Balrogs, or Balrogs is just baiting that well, you know?
They are. They like okay. Sure, the Dusa
You're
use
the
BKB.
analyst, you can flame. There you go.
You might be able to kill her, but they could have just disengaged and Roche, right? And there would be no way for them to do this. So they play greedy with the Roche timer, and I don't know how they stop this. There's 2 heroes dead, 2 cores dead on side of Thunder Awaken. This is a free Roche.
Yep. Can I talk to you about something else now, Bowie, since we've already determined Thunder is throwing? Roboteta, you talked about a bit of a greedy build, but I want to comment on a specific item you went for, the Ags on the puck. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm going to talk about this after Panda dies. Oh, that Ags actually was counterproductive this time. That's going to bias Bowie a little bit in his analysis. Kingteka got stuck here because he had to go too far. Oh no, Roboteta! He condemned his teammate. He does kill Panda, but Kingteka had to sacrifice himself. Nice little face shift there towards the end. Sexy Yogi also gets dropped. There's the Axe coming to play. Beautiful Dream Coil onto 2. They are quite tanky still. Dusa, is she going to be the target? Sacred's trying to tank as much damage from Dusa as possible, but Sacred has been left behind alone without any help. He's not going to be able to survive. And Kingteka did fight back for this fight. Right. What can you tell about the tags on the puck? Are you a fan?
It's... I mean, it's really good versus Mirana, right? A lot of people are kind of thrown off. Oh, the true side's never useful. But against Moonlight Shadow, really good.
Oh, fair enough, actually.
Yeah, he does have a gem, so that might feel a little bit counterintuitive. But it was actually Sexy Yogi's gem, so he just picked it up because he died. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think is amazing, but I think it's really good this game. Probably one of the best, like, everyone's Zinfis, right? So you do get value out of it.
What if I told you, Bowie, and I threw you off, that Roboteta has been building this every single game on the puck?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean...
I'm sorry, I should have told you this at the beginning with. I didn't want to hate you there, but
I did see it.
It's because of the push. The push he thinks is very valuable. So comment on that a little bit.
I mean, it's good, right? You have this Dusa that has Kari, who will be soon level 25, so you kite people really well. Whether you want to push them away or you want to push them into the Dusa, so you keep slowly healing them, it's definitely good. I don't know if it's good every game, though. I think there's definitely drafts where the eggs can feel underwhelming. But this game is really good for tons of reasons. I think it allows, it's a soft 4-step both ways. You can put people away from the Dusa, which is a 4-step the other direction, or you can make sure she's hitting whoever she wants. So that is really good. And also the Moonlight Shadow thing. Oh, Dark Mago,
Of course. And they're gonna find Panda. The Waiting Rift once again makes Kingteka miss his burst strike. The lack of coordination here starting to show. Gotta be a little bit more careful. You want to push him towards Kingteka, not away from Kingteka. Dark Mago did get slowed. And the Solar Bind is actually amplifying the Spirit Vessel so much that it's dealing a ridiculous amount of damage to the Kunkka.
True. Oh, and actually, the Scott is so farmed now. He has Halberd and Force Death. Jeez.
Yep. Yeah, he went for the item you asked for. Like, he just deviated towards, like, okay, fine. Bowie wants me to pick a Force Staff. I'll get a Force Staff.
Yeah, it just took him 12k gold until he got the Force Staff. Pretty cool. Now, what really makes the eggs broken, though, is actually when you get the Aetherlands plus the talent, right? The Dream Coil 3C Magic Community. I think that's when it actually shines as much. He's been going very early eggs on the puck, right?
Yes. Second, third item always. Now, are you checking his Dota buff now to see? I'll be honest with you. The first time I saw this, I also threw me off, and I went to his stream or a stream where he was in just to ask about this, and that's why I know. Because I was like, he's the only world I've seen building this. I will quote Thompson's opinion as Sags is, this is just the shard, but more expensive. Why? I remember I was watching Miracle talked about this, saying this is probably the worst Ags in the game, and Robo's like, this is my Ags. I am going to use it every single game.
Dude, I wanted to say this from the beginning, but I forgot. Robo Z has this like Twilight Die vibes where, like, you know, when someone is so freaking pretty that it kind of scares you.
Oh,
have you ever had that feeling? He's so attractive. It's kind of, it feels like he's actually a robot.
Wow.
He was made to be too attractive.
I've never seen that. But we can talk about this later because he's getting into a fight. King Tekka. He's once again in a difficult position, but this time they also got Berna. Activates Stone Gaze and the BKB gets through the arena. Now he's trying to save the Coddle, but Coddle does not have a BKB to get through the arena as well. Berna will just TP in the middle of this. Ramoceta could be in trouble himself. Does have to commit the Dream Call, but it's get hexed. They have a Torrent on top of this. They do. And this time Ramoceta's Ags is not going to be enough to save him. Pretty or not, his face just got dismantled.
Yeah,
I have not seen him actually. I can't picture him right now. Or I've seen him, but like.
Yeah, I saw him on the Liquid PG.
Is it the blue eyes? Is that what does it for you? Is that what you think is traditionally pretty?
Yeah, but his face is way too traditionally, you know, it feels like a Greek statue.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you know?
I feel the same way with Pilot Die. It's like, it's not so much that like they're pretty in my opinion, it's just that they were blessed and I wasn't, and why, right? Like, they could have just taken one thing. Why are they good at Dota and pretty? I'm neither. Where's the fairness there? Meritocracy, I say.
Yeah, dude.
At least you can cook, Bowie, right? You have one thing.
I mean, you read anime, dude. That's
I read. Yeah, there we go. I read anime. That's my skill. Not even manga. I read actual anime. I read the pictures, boys.
Oh no!
Like it's
now
tarot.
I'm gonna be. Man, I lost all my Wii points with that comment.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. You are now a baka, Bowie. You're an absolute baka. No more kawaii business. Anyway, Balrogs, I'm gonna stop doing that. That's very cringe. Balrogs has managed to keep their high ground defended, but they just did come from losing a fight. So they're not in the best position either. However, this is a point that you theorized, Bowie, or around this, right? Because he didn't go for Butterfly when Prime KB, but similar idea. Around this is where you think the Deuce is gonna start to take off and Monkey King won't be able to catch up, right?
Yeah. That alongside the the Force Staffs and all the ways of moving this Dusa, just like taking this fight for the Monkey King is really hard, especially when they don't have Aegis. The problem right now, they just want to get this level 25. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Burn is online. You're gonna get the Scotty on everyone. Do they have buyback on Queen Tekka? They don't. So that's really the only thing that kind of scares me, because I feel like if they don't lose Queen Tekka right at the beginning of that fight with no buyback, I really feel like Balrogs could have taken a really good one. Oh, let's go.
Okay, that's another bad fight for them, it seems like. Coddle, already been killed. But the Bane is still alive. Sexy Yogi threatens with a Fiend Script, trying to hunt him down. And there's the Fiend Script we talked about. Someone to cancel, it's gonna be Dark Mago. Sexy Yogi has finally been dealt with. The 3 cores are left here for Balrogs. And Sexy Yogi actually comes back to this. The wave brings back Dusa into this massive Wukong's command. But the damage is now a bit lacking because Monkey King is countering King Tekka instead. Berna, how do you get out of this incredibly big circle? Just TP away. What? Nothing to cancel it because of the stun on the Mars, and of course because the Kunkka, everything was on cooldown for him. They didn't manage to defuse away Ramoceta, which means he can't run away despite the nice illusory orb. Now the stun plus the Hex, they chain them? No, they combine them. But who cares if you have enough damage, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Once again, they were in that high ground, and I don't think they were not really nicely positioned to break the smoke. and one really good play from the Mirana there. There was going to be a huge epicenter from the Senkin, but Matthew just jumped in with the Starstorm, canceled the blink, and so he only dealt damage to Matthew. I felt like that could be the edge so that Dusa could kill everyone. Really nicely done by Matthew, identifying the position of the Senkin.
On point. Thank you for pointing that out, Bowie. That's why you're the analyst, my dude. I definitely not noticed that. I was
that's why I get paid the big bucks, dude. I have Vice.
That's another one of your skills, Bowie. Verna, there's the BKB activated. Okay, we do have the Jingle Mastery up for Pakas. Scotty is slowing the heal, but it's okay because you still have the damage. And of course, you are Medusa versus 3. No matter how strong a raid boss you are, you're not gonna beat him this way. And of course, the tips come out for Verna right afterwards. They know that was a bad play. It was just a desperation play.
Yeah, like they have a tier 2. There was no need for the Dusa to do that. No buyback. I thought he had buyback and he was trying to bait a fight. With no buyback, this play kind of just loses the game, I think.
I think so, right? Like I mean, the tier 2 still up. I think you just go for tier 4s, though.
Yeah.
That's Coddle. Okay. The Nightmare saves him from the Boundless Strike, but Pakas no longer cares. He has Abyssal Blade. He has an immense amount of attack speed. That's going to be 2 dead. Goodbye, supports. Time to attack the towers. Oh no, King Tekka does have a Yosefter. It's fine for now. Don't concentrate on King Tekka. Towers can't move. They can't escape. Those are your real hostages here. GG is called as King Tekka TPs. Balrogs gives up game number 1. Despite putting up in a really impressive fight, game number 1 will go the way of Thunder Awaken.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I'm very impressed. I feel like Balrogs, they... everything considered, they played really well. The laning stage was brutal, but that's just Thunder Awaken being a better team.
Sure.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see like them still like doing really well. That was very nicely played. Itemization wise, I have my problems with the way Balrogs did, but overall, just really nicely played by them.
I do want one final concession, but oh my god, you get smaller every day, Bowie. I do have one final concession from you, though. I'm going to play this game I like to play with analysts. Pro or throw, Bowie? Was it Balrogs doing a great job of baiting out Thunder Awaken, or did Thunder Awaken throw in that mid-game and give him a little bit of a chance to Balrogs to come back? What is your opinion?
I mean, there were multiple. I guess, like, if you want to be annoying about it, there were multiple throws. But you know, even EG can throw. Like TI winning teams can throw. If you look at that, like a throw could be a mistake. I feel like, you know, if they played perfectly, Thunder Awaken should win this game in 25 minutes, but they didn't, and I think that is also merit of Balrogs.
That is the most polite answer I've ever had on this broadcast. Thank you so much, Bowie. I think if you and Nastini like fused, you would find the perfect middle ground. It'd be really amazing, Bowie. Thank you very much for that. As we go back to the panel with Plus, Lelis, and Winter Dota to analyze this game. Well, guys, welcome back. Lelis, you made a bold prediction. It didn't quite happen this game, but still a pretty dominating early game by Thunder Awaken. Did you feel like there was... Did you like the way Balrogs played there, or do you feel like Thunder Awaken kind of played around a little bit in that mid game?
I mean, I would say Thunder, they threw a little bit, but props to Balrogs for coming back. Even if a team throws, another team has to, you know, they have to take it too. Yeah, exactly. And I think the